I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. Coastal Flagler County is expected to see minimal effects from Hurricane Florence as it barrels toward landfall along the Carolina coast. Emergency Management Chief Jonathan Lord says Flagler can expect to see rainfall of less than an inch, but tides will be higher than normal with surf swelling expected. The county isn't expecting any significant impacts on the intracoastal waterway unless wind conditions change, which could restrict flow. Flagler County staff continue to monitor the storm's track and stand ready to respond. They add residents, too, should have their emergency preparedness kits and plans in place, since there's still plenty of hurricane season remaining.
This portion of WNZF Local News, a service of the Daytona Beach International Airport. Fly to the Big Apple in a New York minute on JetBlue from the Daytona Beach International Airport.
A suspect wanted for questioning since early this year in an alleged child molestation has been arrested and returned to Flagler County. John Arking reports.
38-year-old Sam Andalina was arrested in Cape Coral, Florida, after being charged with sexual battery and lewd lascivious molestation. The charges stem from an incident on January 4th in Palm Coast when a juvenile victim reported that they'd been molested by a family member at the family home. The victim's mother advised law enforcement that when she confronted Andalina about the allegations, he accused the child of molesting him several days prior. The victim's older sibling reported to law enforcement that in the days after the sexual assault, the suspect would linger around the children's bedrooms as if he was afraid to leave them alone. Law enforcement attempted to speak with the suspect numerous times in order to allow him to give his side of the story, but Andalina declined. He's now being held at the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility on a $150,000 bond. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Folks in Palm Coast will likely be shelling out more money for their utility bills. Tony Magoo tells us why.
The city's stormwater drainage network needs upgrading, and after Irma rolled through last year, we got to look at what an old and aged system looks like. A system that's between 40 and 50 years old. One of the upgrades discussed during Tuesday's workshop would be a $9.4 million stormwater storage and detention basin to be constructed beginning in 2021. The plan also includes a 12-year dredging program to help maintain freshwater canals. That's expected to cost $11.4 million between the upcoming fiscal year and 2023. A Maitland Consulting Group presented a plan that isn't as aggressive. Council members are expected to approve the plan during the September 18th council meeting. It was not included in the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. City Manager Jim Landon said the plan will be integrated as a budget amendment in either October or November. Noting the increased utility fees, Mayor Melissa Holland urged city officials to educate citizens on the benefits that they'll reap with an improved stormwater drainage system. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
He's coming in with a clean slate.
That's outgoing interim city manager Tom Foster touting his efforts to clean up the office to ensure a smooth transition for Alvin Jackson, who was hired earlier this week to become city manager on a permanent basis.
I brought unity back into our department heads where we're actually working cohesively like a team. We weren't before because of in-house fighting, and gave him a balanced budget. I took care of all the disciplinary problems.
Now Foster will return to his job as police chief.
But it was very rewarding. I'm so ready to go back into the community and to be involved with the citizens in the community because it's a total different function as a police chief than it is as city manager. I'm glad to get back into the policing business. That's my passion. That's where I want to go.
Jackson starts his new gig on October 1st. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.